The NFL free agent market is always a gamble. Some guys that look like sure things flop, and others, the players that no one expected to make a dent, end up becoming fan favorites in their new city. Well, just a few weeks into the 2025 NFL season, it's pretty clear that this year is going to be no exception, as we've already seen some serious surprises on both sides of that fence. Of course, there are also the big ticket signings that are delivering as expected, and the head scratchers that have unsurprisingly gone belly up too. So, how about we take a look around the league at the full picture and call out 5 signings that are looking like strokes of genius and 5 that are panning out terribly. Genius, Daniel Jones, QB. Indianapolis Colts. When you shop on the used quarterback market, you're always bouncing upside versus red flags. And truthfully, the Colts were staring down quite a bit of red when they made the decision to bring Daniel Jones to Indy. The Colts' bet on Jones was ruthlessly mocked by skeptics as a pointless reclamation job. No one really even expected him to win the starting job over Anthony Richardson. But alas, he did, and they've quietly built an effective offense around him. It features a lot of RPOs that open up the vertical windows to allow him to take a shot, and the line has done a pretty nice job at protecting him. The early returns so far are impressive. Through their first 3 games, Indy is 3-0, and Jones is looking legit, making tight window throws and escaping pressure with timing that suggests that he's relearned the anticipatory rhythm that escaped him during his last couple of years in Indy. So far, the process is promising, the film is flattering, and the scoreboard is cooperating. If Jones holds this level over the stretch run, the Colts will look like geniuses for this move. It could go down as one of the most shrewd bridge QB deals of the last decade. And with the price tag they got him at, if he falters, well, the downside is contained. Either way, a major feather in the cap for the Colts front office and Shane Steichen, both of which really needed one. Terrible, Russell Wilson, QB, New York Giants. You gotta think that going into this season, in Russell Wilson's mind, that this was supposed to be the redemption tour, his last chance at reclaiming his identity that escaped him in the later years of his career. But instead, it's been an 0-3 start, a quick hook, and a rookie takeover. Yeah, 3 weeks in, and Brian Dable moves to Jackson Dart for what we can only assume will be the rest of the season. You know, unless something goes catastrophically wrong with the rookie. Wilson almost had people believing again with how he was slinging it during week 2 against an admittedly weak Cowboys defense. But even then, he crumbled down the stretch with an untimely interception. And while the counting numbers are almost respectable, the truth is, the stats don't rescue the film. Wilson's line, 778 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, is even less inspiring when you pull out the first couple of quarters of the Cowboys game and add the situational misses and stalled drives. Look, you can argue supporting cast, line player scheme, and fair. None of that screams turnkey contender to slot a vet into. But the bet on Russ was supposed to stabilize the offense while the rest developed. When a coaching staff immediately pivots to a rookie first-rounder, they're telling you the near-term ceiling is higher elsewhere. The money wasn't massive, but the fact that they forced them into starting their rookie this soon without giving him time to develop is very telling. And a signal that this was a terrible free agent signing. Genius, Sam Darnold, QB, Seattle Seahawks. This one felt a little spicy back in March. After a challenging start to his NFL career, Darnold was coming off a revitalizing stint in Minnesota under Kevin O'Connell's tutelage. Led the Vikes to a 14-3 record, but struggled mightily during his final 2 showings of the year, which just so happened to coincide with the most important games of the season. So it wasn't very surprising to see that folks in the media were highly skeptical when Seattle threw some big numbers at him. 3 years, a headline number over $100 million, admittedly with an escape hatch structure that protected them, but still, the output has been impressive so far. I mean, 4 games in and Seattle's 3-1, with Darnold leading last-minute drives and building belief in the organization, and the fan base that has been desperate for this team to be relevant again. The system fit has been perfect too. Mike McDonald and Clint Kubiak are putting him in the perfect position to execute, and to his credit, he's doing it. And then some. By ripping off chunk plays. Sure, there's always time for this to go south, but hey, as of right now, it's looking like one of the best free agent signings of the year. Full stop. Terrible, Stefon Diggs, WR, New England Patriots. New England brought in Stefon Diggs to be your mismatch machine, the guy who tilts coverage and makes life easy for its young quarterback, Drake May. Instead, 3 games in, he's sitting at 13 catches for 112 yards and making far more headlines off the field than on it. He's not tanking the team, but he's not exactly exactly the solution that New England paid for either. Diggs can kind of win on his go-to routes, but too often, he's looking disengaged, and he's simply not carrying himself like a pro at this stage of his career. And definitely not what the Patriots front office was envisioning when it shelled out 3 years, $69 million, with 26 of it being guaranteed. Genius, Javon Hargrave, DT, Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota went big game hunting on the interior of the defensive line, and Hargrave has paid off immediately. 2 sacks in his Vikings debut, steady disruption since, and the front looks like it was made for a Brian Flores defense. The value play is sneaky. 2 years, roughly $30 million for a proven interior rusher who wins with hands, leverage, and timing. No age cliff visible on tape yet. Hargrave has made an impact beyond his direct production too. With his talent and savvy, he changes how offenses slide protections and is forced to protect its edges by driving through the middle of the line. As free agent spends go, this is starting to look like a home run. He is proving to be a valid disruptor at an important spot, and on a controllable number at that. Terrible, Justin Fields, QB, New York Jets. The Jets' plan was sound. A 2-year, $40 million swing on a dual-threat quarterback with high first-round pedigree. With the defense they're expecting coming into the season and a relatively affordable contract for a signal caller, if Fields was able to rise to the occasion, the Jets could have been in a real good spot this year. Unfortunately, they're the Jets, and, well, reality has been none too kind to them. Fields has lost all of his starts so far, and then he suffered a concussion, pushing veteran journeyman Tyrod Taylor into the lineup as the spot starter. It's still possible that Fields returns from concussion protocol and the Jets are able to move past the early season disruption with its new coach and new quarterback. But this is the exact kind of situation that you can't have when you're trying to turn around a franchise. In any case, while the vision made sense and it was a reasonable gamble to take, the outcome has been such a disappointment that it's hard not to call it a terrible free agent signing. Genius, Davante Adams, WR, Los Angeles Rams. The Rams added a veteran weapon with Davante Adams to help take some of the pressure off of Puka Nacua, who's been the focal point of that offense, and then some in recent years. And so far, everything on the call sheet looks cleaner with 17 on the field. Now, this isn't prime pepper him with the ball every other play Davante, and week to week, the ball will find him in waves. But man, watch the efficiency, target share, separation, first read percentage. Adams is still very much a problem, even as they manage snaps and ramp him smartly. Efficiency now at the cost of bigger box scores means that hopefully he's in a perfect groove with Stafford when he's healthy later in the season and when they need him most. And for the price of just 2 years, $46 million with 26 guaranteed, this was a no-brainer. Adams is still a marquee receiver who hit the market after a release, and LA should be very much so thanking their lucky stars that he finally got off the Aaron Rodgers train and didn't follow him to the Steel City. This is premium talent without a mortgage your future trade package or a salary cap decimating number attached to his contract. What makes this fit even more special is the way his skill set fits into the role that he plays in McVay's system. He elevates the system, and the system elevates the role. It's symbiotic, and McVay knows how to keep things fresh to avoid becoming predictable. Terrible, Carlton Davis III, CB, New England Patriots. Breaking into the piggy bank to spend some money on another cornerback made sense on paper, and Davis had the length, experience, and ability for what New England was looking for. But on the field thus far, it's been a struggle for Davis trying to find his footing in Mike Vrabel's defense. The pass defense metrics are underwater, and the continued explosive plays that they allow have cast doubt over any Patriots lead. Yeah, there's still time, but if you're bottom tier by EPA and near the bottom of the barrel in pass defense DVOA a month in, it's fair to say that your corner investments aren't paying early dividends. Some of this is structure and safety play, some is communication, but when you shell out an $18 million per year deal to Carlton Davis, well, he's expected to produce through that level of adversity. Nevertheless, here we are with the Patriots still middling away in the AFC East, with the memories of the good old dynasty days fading further and further into the distance. Genius, Josh Sweat, Edge, Arizona Cardinals. The fit is logical. Jonathan Gannon coached him in Philly, understands his rush plan, and knows how to create one-on-ones with width and simulated pressure. Give Josh Sweat that kind of runway, and he'll punish the tackles that he lines up against and the quarterbacks that they're meant to protect, especially when playing alongside a veteran like Calais Campbell, who can eat double teams and take pressure off of him. And with this move, Arizona quietly built a real pass rush, and Sweat has been the tone setter. He is already getting to the quarterback in a meaningful way, and has delivered multiple game-turning pressures and fumbles just a few weeks into the season. The tape tells it all. He's winning on speed to power, converting length into leverage, and his get-off is wrecking timing for opposing offenses when they try to run 5- and 7-step concepts. When you look at what a great move this was in free agency, it goes beyond the production too. From a cap standpoint, Arizona paid starter plus money for prime age sacks. 4 years with $41 million guaranteed. Smart money says that he outperforms that deal in a big way. The Cardinals will still need to get their offense in order if they want to contend, but this was a big move for them in rounding out their defense. Terrible? Gier Alexander, CB, Baltimore Ravens. Listen, we get it. A 1-year, $6 million deal is far from an albatross, and fans were definitely excited to see the two-time Pro Bowler's name on the back of a Ravens jersey, especially with the expectations that were attached to his defense coming into the year. Heck, people thought this was gonna be the cherry on top. But instead, well, Alexander's been a healthy scratch twice in 3 weeks, with the staff citing football shape and performance. That is not what they thought they were getting when they signed him in June to be a contributing piece to that defense. So far, this is a miss. And with how bad the Ravens' defense has been, at least to start the season, it's the kind of move that has really soured the vibes, and has people in the media thinking that this was more wishful thinking than a real difference maker. But hey, which free agent signings do you think look the best so far? Which do you think looked the worst? Who do you think we're right on? Who do you think we're wrong about? Was there anything that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.